know what I'm saying? And I know people heard me speak about MEECH's paperwork situation with the last interview that we had, and a lot of people had a lot of stuff to say. They don't believe it, Blue's hating. You know what I'm saying? And when I went back and I looked at everything, I was like, you know what, bro? It's only right and only one way to really do it. Only one way to really do it and just let Dog speak for itself. So I wanted him to call in, and this is him calling in during the interview. Go ahead, Cuff, man. You can introduce yourself and take the flow.
Hello, my nigga. What's up, man?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you know, a lot of people, man, is thinking that this thing is made up or this thing is fake or that I have an axe to grind. You feel me?
Right.
But I'm in here with a 27-year sentence based on Demetrius Flannery, as you all know as Big Meech, and Tammy Collins, known in the paperwork as CS1.
Right.
Confidential source 1. So what Big Meech did was call a third-party cooperation. So Tammy Collins signed up to be a DEA informant to give Demetrius Flannery a time cut, plain and simple.
Right. So
okay. So can you break down the story? Like, how do you know this?
Camp Capone News. Y'all can watch the rest.
It's the biggest boss, Ricky Rose. The time has come. MEECH on. It's the biggest boss, Ricky Rose. The time has come. MEECH on.
Officially on. Snitch accusations, corrupt federal officers, murder charges. You would think it was a movie, but it's not. When Big Meech appeared in a video with 50 Cent's longtime rival Rick Ross, the internet knew 50 wouldn't hesitate to respond. The same way he did when Southwest T, co-founder of BMF, did the same exact thing not too long ago. And because of this, 50 is looking to do more than respond. It seems like he's looking to end the name and credibility of Big Meech and possibly all of BMF. 50 Cent decided to respond with an Instagram post hinting at the idea of a documentary focusing on a woman named Tammy Collins. You may not know who Tammy Collins is, but she's definitely an important figure in all of this. She's CEO of BMF Entertainment, Big Meech's company. She had power of attorney for Big Meech when he was in jail, and she's one of the executive producers of the BMF series on Starz. So here's where it gets crazy, because Tammy has been accused of working with Big Meech to set up other members of BMF to get his sentence reduced. So it seems to me that 50 Cent is setting up to do an expose documentary on how Big Meech set up other members of BMF to get out of jail early. But how is that possible? Because technically, Big Meech served his entire sentence. Well, let me explain. There's a man named Dion Cuffy Gatlin. He's the former head of the St. Louis chapter of BMF and a crucial member of the team. He's currently serving a 27-year sentence for 2 murders and drug trafficking. He claims that Big Meech is the reason he's behind bars. Cuffy and Meech's relationship go back to the 90s. At one point, Cuffy paid $250,000 for rights to the BMF entertainment arm. That's movies, that's television, and all of that. That's when Cuffy and 50 Cent's relationship started. So the question is, where did everything go wrong? Well, Cuffy claims Meech introduced him to Tammy Collins, who eventually convinced him to buy 100 kilos of cocaine from a source that Meech recommended. Yeah, Meech was still moving coke while he was locked up. He alleges that Tammy was an informant and Meech was aware of this, and the deal went south and he was eventually arrested. He alleges that this deal would have got Meech out of jail several years ago, but the evidence from this arrest became inadmissible in court because Tammy was having an affair with the DEA agent Keith Cromer handling the investigation, so the evidence was thrown out. And if that's true, it means that Big Meech set up his brother and didn't even get out of jail for it. Side note, Rick Ross is definitely a chess player. Even after 50 Cent made millions for Lil Meech and his family and he set them up for a career in TV and film, Rick Ross was still able to slide in and make his presence known. We don't understand the ins and outs of exactly why it played out like this, but I can assure you money is at the heart of it.
Top of the morning, man. Top of the morning. You know who it is, who it should be, man. AKA J Cass, better known now as who? Trucker J. Let's get into it, man. Perfect example of don't bite the hand that feeds you. Big Meech. Please tell me. You're definitely a living legend, right? But when they locked you up and you was doing that 20, what did Ross really do for you? Was he putting money on your books? The only thing Ross did was use your name to make a song. I think I'm Big Meech. He also threw Larry Hoover. Whipping Work, Hallelujah. You get what I'm saying? He just used your name to get that credit, to get that, to monetize off of your name in a song, in a verse. Did he break you off? He probably did. But 50 Cent went out on a limb, Meech. 50 Cent made you a household name, Meech. 50 Cent made your son a superstar, Meech. Rick Ross didn't do that. Rick Ross didn't throw your son a bag, as far as we know of, when he came out with that song and throwing your name on your crew on a verse. 50 Cent put your son in the limelight, Meech. Made you a household name for people that's not in the streets, Meech, to know who you are. Because basically, only street people knew, and anybody affiliated with the streets knew of a Big Meech, but not the average Joe. And the show is awesome. And you decide to team up with Rick Ross for a benefits concert, a car show, or what have you? Weigh it up. The two don't equate, Meech. Show, son of superstar, made your family famous, your mama, your daddy famous, because they portrayed in the show their life and what they struggles they went through trying to raise you the right way, but y'all chose the streets. You get what I'm saying? Only thing Ross did was, I think I'm Big Meech. Larry Hoover. That's it. He didn't do nothing for your son, nothing for your family. And you team up and go against the grain, knowing that 50 Cent and Rick Ross is like Ja Rule and 50 Cent. Enemies. Meech, you should know better. You from the streets. You a living legend. You are Black Scarface. But now, Meech, what's her name? Who's Tammy Collins? Whatever her name is, Meech. Your legacy about to be tarnished because they saying you was a third party informant. She was informant number one, and you gave some input to put one of your homies behind bars for like 30 joints, 20 joints. You helped Tammy Collins, Meech. So now you being labeled as a snitch, Meech. So now it's like your legacy got tarnished just like Alpo, Meech. Alpo made a lot of money. He was a street guy. He's a legend. But he double-crossed his homies, murked them out, ratted on people, got them locked up, thrown away the key. And now Meech is looking like the last of the real hustlers. The legend. And we thought you stood tall because you gave them people 20. But to get that time cut, Meech, you bit the cheese, homie. I don't understand it. Why would you team up with somebody that's really not doing nothing for you, and the other guy made you a household name, made your son famous where he ain't got to be in the streets, Because he couldn't just live off of you, Meech. You didn't have no money no more. You was in jail. They took everything, Meech. You probably never see this, but I'm giving my POV, point of view. And now they labeling you a rat, and Blue Da Vinci is really on your heels, Meech. You seen the evidence that I put out there? Shout out to Hassan, the B Bandit Campbell. You know, I got that little bit of footage from him. You know what I mean? Shout out to Hassan Campbell. Let me throw that out there. It's fair use too. Fair use on the internet. So don't go striking channels and all that. It's fair use. This is for educational purposes, like everybody else do. Even though my channel gets shadow banned, it don't matter. But I just wanted to holler at Meech. Like I said, you'll probably never see this, but you really are Scarface, man. And it's looking like your legacy is about to be tarnished, because now, you know what they say, what's done in the dark comes to the light, man. That's with anything. Meech should have known that it was a chance that this could come to the light, that he was a third-party informant, man. But what I don't understand is, if somebody made you a household name and made your kid famous, made a way for your kid to eat, you side with the man's op that just wants to throw a one-time thing, a concert? It's not adding up. And you up there got your hand on the shoulder like he your right-hand man. Why would you do Fifth like that, Meech? I don't understand that. I don't understand why would you do Fifth like that. You know what I'm saying? And you know how 50 is. He don't like that. That's true though. If you're a real street dude and you cool with somebody, but they cool with your op, you gotta choose a side. Everybody knows that. That's why I cut off a lot of people. I'm like, you know that's my op. Me and you cool, but you over here playing both sides of the fence. We can't have that. So matter of fact, stay over there. Now 50 on some, stay over there. Now he gonna cancel a good show that we like to watch, Meech. All because you want to be greedy and do business with his op. Make it make sense, man. It wasn't enough money for you to stay with Fifth. It just wasn't enough, right? It wasn't enough that 50 made you a household name that the world knows who you are. Besides the street guys, it wasn't enough that 50 made your son famous, where he ain't got a struggle in life. That just wasn't enough, Meech. You just had to side with Rick Dirty Rose. Talking about I'm back. You should have been saying you back with Fifth. You should have stayed loyal to a guy that's really that puts your life in a series. That put your legacy in a series. It was just a myth of who BMF was. You had to be there to know who BMF was, right? Because you got locked away for 20 joints. That was back in what, 06 when you got banged over the head? Pause. So basically you was just the myth. Oh, Big Meech, he was a big time hustler. 50 Cent put your life on the forefront on the screen for people to know who you are, to know how you got it, to know how you came out the mud, Meech. And you go against the grain for this fat, sloppy, chitlin juice sweating. It makes no sense, man. But this is a classic example, people, of biting the hand that feeds you. Real spill. That's one thing J Cass would never do. Even though when I was in the streets, I wasn't big time. I was the breakdown king. I'll get like 3 or 4 onions, break it all down. I had my little bit of clientele. When I sold the diesel, it's 5 bundles in a my bad. It's 5 bundles in the brick, 10 bags in a bundle. Get it? So, I mean, and I used to cook up my own work. You know what I mean? I never proclaimed to be big because I wasn't. But $5 grand a week, that's 10 grand in 2, 15 in 3, 20 in 4. That's $20,000. If you can't have no motion with $20,000, I don't know what to tell you. That's why I don't tongue wrestle. The receipts is there. You see all the whips. Everything you see went through these palms, man. You win some, you lose some. Material things come, material things go. But look how I landed on my feet. I got a trucking career. I'm not in no cage. I've been living legit for the past 12 joints. And by the grace of God, you know, I never been behind that fence. So, you know, I just don't get it. I'm appalled, to be honest with you, because I really like that show. Now you got the show canceled because you done pissed 50 off, man. You know how he is, man. He don't let nothing go. You know what I'm saying? He don't. So we can light a candle, R.I.P. to the BMF show, because 50 Cent is not letting this go. And MEECH, you caused it. Now you caused your son not to eat. Hopefully somebody else will pick him up because of his acting skills, because now you done messed up a good thing, MEECH. I don't understand people. Why would you mess up a good thing? Now you a rat? Now we got to do our due diligence and do our research to see if you really was a third party with this Tammy Collins person? Who's Tammy Collins, MEECH? Now that's the question now. Never fails, man. All you had to do was stay silent, MEECH. I mean, even though Blue Da Vinci was throwing these darts out there, it wasn't really sticking until you crossed Fifth. And now Fifth done asked the question in one of his blogs, one of his posts. Who is Tammy Collins, MEECH? I hope I'm saying the lady's name right. You got some splaining to do, MEECH. It's crazy, man. He was our modern day Scarface. You know how people walk around with the Scarface Tony Montana picture, a fictional character? He was the real deal. The last person to really do it big. Big. Survived, did time, and came home. Your legacy was stamped, and 50 stamped it. But now you bite the hand that feeds you and side with the chitlin juice sweating dude that just shouted your name in a verse, in a song, in the chorus. Did he make your son a star, MEECH? That song came out way back. He didn't make your son a star, MEECH. He just ate off of using your crew in a verse. And he ate off it. 50 Cent made your son a star, MEECH. 50 Cent gave your family the legacy that it gave, showed your mom how she was a good working, hard working woman. Your dad, how he was a musician. Like 50 put your legacy out there for the world to know before you turned bad, you and Terry. And then Terry supposedly took pictures with Supreme, and Supreme tried to off 50. Like, why? What is wrong with y'all? Supreme tried to take 50 out. And Terry over there siding with Supreme. Make it make sense. That's what we call dumb Negroes. And now the show might get canceled, all because y'all want to be dumb Negroes. But anyways, man, this Trucker J, I'm at my stop, waiting to get in. It's my first time here. I'm third in line. Y'all be safe out there, man. 100.